All right. Shalom, shalom, everybody. Apologies for the late start. We're going to start with prayer. So, dear Heavenly Father, we ask for you to forgive us of our sins and the sins of our ancestors. We thank you for this day. We thank you for your grace, your mercy, and your truth. We thank you for revealing yourself to us, Father, as we continue to be a part of this covenant, Father. We just ask for you to lead us and guide us into all truth and to deliver us from evil, Father. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. So we've been doing this series since we're in the days of unleavened bread. I know it was the blood. Today's all about turning the other cheek. Can one of y'all go to the channel on your phones?
Oh, yes.
And turn the volume up. For one, share it, but turn the volume all the way up because I'm going to see if this video is going to play because there's some stuff that...
You know, YouTube be YouTubing, bro.
Oh, fair use.
Yeah.
This is for educational and training purposes only. Also, this video is from the channel called Ashanda at Large. So if y'all know that channel, please subscribe to her channel. You know, she does a lot of good work.
Ashanda?
Ashanda. No, this is somebody else. And also, please like, share, and subscribe as well. But if one of y'all can go to the channel on your phone and pull up this video, turn the volume up.
I think she is. Right
Is she going to turn the volume up?
Oh, you're going to have to use my phone for that.
Okay.
I was sharing it to the group.
She shared it to the group, so if one of y'all
My
can do
speaker's
that.
broke.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
So you're good. Here, I'll do it on my phone. You're good. Here.
I'm pulling the right.
Huh? Yeah, but you take it too low. So just turn it right off until that's over. Oh, see if it's gonna play. So there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a little delay, but let's see.
Y'all, it's getting real out here. It's getting to the point where so much of the things that we have been saying for such a long time, that we have been professing according to the Ruach HaKodesh appointed message that he has called us, those who are born again, those who are walking in the light of truth, to tell our nation and the nations, is coming to pass, y'all. And it's really, really like wild, because you open up the Bible and you see what's present in the earth right now, and it's like it's on the same exact page. Of course you have mockers and you have scoffers, but the reality is that what's written in the word shall come to pass. Now, I just reported on the Kenyan president who was doing something that he had no business doing. He was bowing down before the so-called Wailing Wall.
Do you know who this man is here? Look at that. Do you know that man? This is an African leader. You know where he is? Look at this. Look at this. Have you seen that? This is an African leader, a whole president in Africa.
And if that wasn't bad,
So, before she gets too far, is it not going to stop? So, before that gets too far, what else do we know has happened at Kenya? Y'all remember?
The UN.
The UN switches headquarters from here, from New York to Kenya, right? Because of this Kenyan president. Now, he's already been seen going over to Israel to this Wailing Wall, right? And doing what the Jewish people do, which we were never ordained to do anything like that. Because that's really like I'm not even going to get into it. It's a disgusting act when you really get down to the origins of what they do at the Wailing Wall. Because they're always doing this motion, like you're trying to ejaculate. To make a long story short. But all this is happening in Kenya. Now listen as she keeps going.
bad enough, we also found out that the UN moved its headquarters from New York, to Nairobi, Kenya, just maybe about a month ago. So there is a more serious situation that I believe encompasses everything that we have been seeing coming out of Kenya, which would be the president who is in bed with all of these European leaders, to the United Nations moving their headquarters to Kenya. Now a more devastating situation is occurring out of Kenya that we need to be aware of, and it's going to change everything.
Now, it even gets worse. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is continuing its global push to support its so-called government-backed digital ID programs, and this time setting its sight on Kenya, where it will advise the government on that country's Maisha Namba digital ID initiative that is currently under development. So, according to a Kenyan news agency, Gates' role is assisting the Kenyan government in its development, and the rollout of Maisha Namba was announced after a recent series of closed-door meetings with Kenyan President William Ruto. According to Biometric Update, Maisha Namba is supposedly expected to address different challenges, such as identifying and authenticating citizens, safeguarding primary registration documents such as birth certificates and national identity cards, and improving the management of the social programs and government operations. The project has been met with skepticism in some parts of the country. Rights groups have also been expressing concern over the possibility of discrimination and the erosion of privacy. But listen, I just told you in a very nice way. Now let me just put it blatantly to you. The program targets the birth of new babies. So once you have your baby, before your baby leaves the hospital, you no longer get a paper birth certificate, but then you get a digital one that is somehow implanted somewhere on somebody's body. Think about that, but have a listen to this.
The digital ID, which has been a big problem to us for a very long time, is now on a testing mode for the next 2 months. I have been assured by all the stakeholders, led by the ministries concerned, that by December, we will be able to launch digital ID, where every Kenyan don't have to carry any paper, plastic or otherwise, as an ID, that they should be able to be identified digitally using their iris or their fingerprints, and we can transact without the necessity of people struggling to identify.
What they gonna have, your social security number and your banking information, all that?
Without the necessity of people struggling to identify.
So yes,
So they starting out on brand new babies.
and they made it to the continent. So we think once we get out of this place, everything's gonna fall in line. That's why, because I'm not gonna show any more of her video. Like she talks really good. Like she's really good. Ashanda at large. Find her channel. She got a lot of great truth, a lot of great content. But in this, you really get to understand that, man, no matter where you go, they're gonna be there. They're trying to make sure that they have footholds in
Everywhere.
Africa. When the UN went there, like my flags went off, red flares, right? So you better make sure that you're really in the covenant. That's what Passover and the days of unleavened bread are really about. So we're gonna push past this.
What was her name again?
Ashanda, Ashanda, and then at large. Great content. So this is all about turning the other cheek. I hope this makes sense to you. We got a lot of reading, so I didn't want to wait too long. So to learn about turning the other cheek, we have to go to the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verses 38 through 39. And it reads, "You have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth." That can be found in Exodus 21. "But I say unto you that you resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite you on your right cheek, turn to him the other also." So, if you remember, y'all remember that song "Try Jesus, Don't Try Me"?
Yep.
Like one of the main points today was like, yeah, because that just don't sound right to me. Because you talk to people and they'll be like, it's not in the Old Testament. You can't find it. And even me, I used to like think that, but it kind of shows the error that we have, not knowing the scriptures, because Mashiach was the living word. So he'd be saying stuff, and you have to go and see if you can find anything about it, right?
Parables.
You have to. Parables, right? Because he was talking to a specific people for a specific reason, and now everyone has the book, and they think that it's for everybody and everything, right? So before we do that, let's go back to the 12th book of Exodus. We're going to read just verse 8. It says, "And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it." So we've gone over what everything represents, right? Right. Okay. So what does the herb represent? It is healing. It is healing. That's what a herb does. That's its main intent. But how? That's what I'm asking you. Because everything has a purpose.
It has to be applied on the body, whether ingestion or topical.
Right. But how do you apply it in the context of what Mashiach and his body and everything that we've gone through? What's the lesson behind it, right? So I was asking Most High for a word, a word today. So we're gonna go to the 9th book of Numbers, and we're gonna read the 11th verse, 9:11. Imagine that.
Wow.
"The 14th day of the 2nd month at evening they shall keep it, and eat with it unleavened bread and bitter herbs." So no matter what, you're always, when it comes to Passover, you have to have bitter herbs. Because like Bam said, it's for healing. So again, with the mind of Mashiach, trying to figure out because you can find all this other stuff that he talks about in either the law or the Old Testament somewhere. But when it comes to turning the other cheek, especially with the people in this awakening, they'll try to say it's not in there this, it's not in there that. It is in there, but it's going to take a little bit for us to get there, and I hope that y'all can see it. So bitter herbs. So the thing about it is that the word that's used for bitter herbs is literally only used 3 times in the whole book. 3 times. And so we have to go to the book of Lamentations. Now, who is the author of the book of Lamentations?
I don't know.
Moses.
King David.
Nope. Yirmiyahu.
Oh, me.
What does Yirmiyahu mean?
I'm appointed. Exalted.
Whom Yahuwah has appointed, right? So no, you're exalted. Okay. So because we got a lot of reading to do, so let's go. Whoever wants to read, go ahead.
Well, before we do that, so you saying every name, or just only biblical names have a meaning to it?
Every name has a meaning.
Every name.
It's like when people give children's names and don't know the meaning of it, you don't know what you're prophesying on your kid. Every name has a meaning because especially in Hebrew thought, every even vowel or consonant had a meaning. Yeah. So is there a name in English that doesn't have a meaning?
A lot.
Because we got a lot of made up names, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying from the normal English language, is there a name that doesn't have a meaning? Every name has a meaning.
Yeah.
Because if it didn't matter, the Most High wouldn't have gave his son the name that he gave him, or Israel the name that he gave us.
And that's why it's important to.
Mike.
That's why when I talk to people, I try to tell them You know, the Most High said things like life and death is in the power of the tongue. Like what comes from the speech that we speak on a daily, and we so loose with it, there's so much power in it. But like you said, so to answer your question, you know, most of everything in Scripture has a meaning. Like the she and the in and the be and the but. Like if you look at it in Hebrew, we got 5 or 6 words attached to it because it's deeper than we know or that we perceive.
It's deeper than just the word bam. Bam has a meaning too.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, it means
Awesome.
like that you've been tricked,
Powerful.
hoodwinked, bamboozled. But as we digress, let's proceed.
Yo, your name mean all that, bro?
Let's keep going. Let's go. Let's get to it. Lamentations 1.
How doeth the city sit solitary?
Yeah, come on. Come on. We got some reading to do today.
I want to read 2 verses. That was full of people. How is she become as a widow? She that was great among the nations, a princess among the provinces. How is she become
A tributary.
Tributary.
So who is Yirmiyahu talking about?
Israel.
There we go. Specifically who though? You're going to read it. Keep going.
She wept sore in the night.
Weepeth.
She weepeth sore in the night.
Slow down. You're good.
And her tears are on her cheeks. Among all her lovers, she hath none to comfort her. All her friends have dealt treacherously with her. They are become her enemies. Judah is going into captivity because of affliction. So the tribe of Judah. And because of great servitude, right? She dwelleth among the
heathen.
Well, I thought that was a heathen. Eyes burning. Among the heathen, she findeth no rest. All her prosecutors overtook her between the straits. The ways of Zion do mourn, because none come to the solemn feast. All her gates are desolate. Her priests sigh. Her virgins are afflicted, and she is in bitterness.
Okay, so what did the blood represent?
The blood of Mashiach.
Cleanliness.
The covenant.
The blood of the covenant, right? And the wine of the wrath to come, when he comes back in the second coming, right? What did the bread represent? The body. Which is the bread of what?
Yeah.
Oni.
The bread of Oni. What is the bread of Oni?
Affliction.
Affliction.
Yeah.
So even starting out, Yirmiyahu, he's letting us know. What did he say? Yehuda is going into captivity because of the bread of affliction.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're always eating that bread. You're always supposed to have Passover in the days of unleavened bread. So because Judah refused to see its false, Judah is just eating this bread of affliction, right? So we're using these same concepts as we move forward. So we're trying to figure out what really the bitter herbs, because it is healing, but how? So we're going to keep going. Yeah, because, right now, Judah is now where?
Here.
Captivity.
Yeah.
We just read it. Captivity. Because it said Judah is going into captivity. That's why I said Judah is now where?
Yeah.
Captivity. Good catch. Good catch. Bread of affliction, right? Okay. Keep going.
Her adversaries, right?
Yep.
Are the chief. Her enemies prosper. For Yahweh hath afflicted her for the multitude of her transgressions. Her children are gone into captivity before the enemy. And from the daughter of Zion, all her beauty is departed. Her prince are become like hearts. That's right.
Huh? Her what? Where you at?
Her prince. Second verse. Her princes are become like hearts
Hearts, yeah.
that find no pasture. And they are gone without strength before the pursuer.
Pursuer, right?
Pursuer. Jerusalem remembered in the days of her Jerusalem remembered in the days of her affliction and of her enemy, her miseries. All her pleasant things that she had in the days of old, were when her people fell into the hand of the enemy, and none did help her. The adversaries saw her and did mock at her Sabbaths. Jerusalem hath grievously sinned. Therefore she is removed. All that honored her despise her, because they have seen her nakedness. Yea, she sighed and turned backward.
So what made Jerusalem, the people, remember? The bread of affliction. It's supposed to make Jerusalem remember the days of old. Remember who they are. Right? Because that's actually in the law. You know, once we fall into captivity, if we can, He's going to send a fan into our hearts, and we will bethink ourselves. Remember who we are. But it takes the bread of affliction to get us to that point. But that's only if you have eyes to see it, right? Because this happens in captivity. Keep going.
Her filthiness is in her skirts. She remembereth not her last end. Therefore she came down wonderfully. She had no comforter. O Yahweh, behold my affliction, for the enemy hath magnified himself.
Because, again, we're eating this bread of affliction, right? And that's when the head has become the tail, right? That's what our enemies do. They magnify themselves above everything, above us. We are nothing. We literally have to lay on the ground while they walk over us, right? Because we have to eat this bread of affliction.
Yep.
Keep going.
The adversary hath spread out his hand upon all her pleasant things, for she hath seen that the heathen entered into her sanctuary, whom thou didst command that they should not enter into thy congregation.
So y'all tell me, what does that verse mean?
They should never be in a congregation, ever.
But more importantly, in the what? Sanctuary.
Yeah.
So the Most High, He sets up orders, right? The way patterns how things should be set up. And certain nations of people are not even supposed to be in there because they weren't given the order of service. But when you look around the world, that's not how the church is set up. Anybody can be in any part in there giving service, but that's not what the Most High commanded. Everything about this is backwards. Like we literally live in the twilight zone, right? Bread of affliction. Keep going.
All her people sigh. They seek bread. They have given their pleasant things for meat to relieve their soul. See, O Yah, and consider, for I am become vile.
But I don't get we're eating the bread of affliction. So what bread are they actually seeking then? What is the bread that Yahushua brought to us? The bread of life, right? Because you fall into a dead state. But that's why you have to eat the bread of affliction, and you have to eat bitter herbs. He said that is for what? Healing, right? That's what they see. They seek the bitter herbs, because you can't have Passover without the bitter herbs. Okay, keep going.
Is it nothing to you, all you that pass by? Behold, and see if there be any sorrow like unto my sorrow, which is done unto me, wherewith the Most High hath afflicted me in the day of his fierce anger.
And so, like, this is the thing that the world really doesn't want to, especially the leaders of the of the world now, don't really want to admit. The Most High did this stuff to us. Whether it's righteous for us because it happened, the things that our ancestors did, and we are suffering the lack of benefits for it.
Yeah.
So, in their mind, it can never be flipped around. Like, no, there's no reparations. There's no need for a balanced scale with all of the innocent blood that's been shed across the world. And we know that day is coming. Because even they have opened up our book also. And now they're starting to eat the bread of affliction, and they don't even know it yet. But will the Most High give them the bitter herbs to give them the healing, though?
No.
Huh? Some of them He will. Because the Most High, He will have mercy on who He will have mercy on. But the majority of them, they're not eating the bitter herbs. Because that's healing. Because the herbs are for the healing of the what? The nation. Right? So we're going to keep going.
From above hath he sent fire into my bones, and it prevaileth against them. He hath spread a net for my feet. He hath turned me back. He hath made me desolate and faint all the day. The yoke of my transgressions is bound by his hand. They are wreathed and come up upon my neck. He hath made my strength to fall. The Most High hath delivered me into their hands, from whom I am not able to rise up. The Most High have trodden underfoot all my mighty men in the midst of me. He have called an assembly against me to crush my young men. The Most High have trodden the virgin, the daughter of Judah, as in a winepress.
Blood.
For these things I weep, mine eye runneth down with water, because the Comforter that should relieve my soul is far from me. My children are desolate, because the enemy prevailed.
You know what's crazy? Because I'm just looking at that now. In the quote-unquote New Testament, Mashiach says after he rose from the dead that I'm going to send you the what?
Comforter, the Holy Spirit.
Right, the Comforter. Because the Comforter was missing because we were just eating the bread of affliction and we weren't even eating the bitter herbs. When we started eating the bitter herbs is when he sent the Comforter. After he rose, right, from the dead, right? And only those people that were at Passover that ate the bread, drank the wine, and ate the bitter herbs received the Comforter. This is for healing, right? This is for power. And so another thing, that word for assembly is the same word actually that we use for the feast days, moed. So it's almost like he said he called an assembly against me to crush me. And my young men, it could also mean that he allowed these other nations that rule over us to be a part and have their own assemblies or their own feast days. And then we get ingrained in that, worshiping other gods, which keep us from being what? Healed. The bitter herbs would have no effect on us at that point, right? Because like everything, you start looking like, man, all these different potential meanings. All these different potential meanings. Keep going.
Zion spreadeth forth her hands, and there is none to comfort her. The Most High hath commanded concerning Jacob, that his adversaries should be round about him. Jerusalem is as a mistress woman among them.
What does that mean?
Bleed.
Means she's unclean. Disgusting.
No disrespect.
No disrespect to women. But like in the Hebraic thought, when a woman goes to the menstrual cycle, she's unclean for 7 days.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
She got to be in the field for a few days.
And so, knowing, right? So, now again, this is Jeremiah or Jeremiah. And he keeps talking about this comforter. So whenever you start reading that, Mashiach says, go wait before you be imbued with power, and I send the comforter. That should let you know why he was sending it. Other nations and people that cleave to the covenant received it also. We get that. But he was sending it to a specific people for a specific reason, because they needed comfort. They needed bitter herbs for healing. Right? Keep going.
The Most High is righteous, for I have rebelled against his commandment. Hear, I pray you, all people, and behold my sorrow. My virgins and my young men are gone into captivity. I called for my lovers, but they deceived me. My priests and my elders gave up the ghost in the city, while they sought their meat to relieve their souls.
Right, so all of the people that we thought was our friends and loved ones and had our best thing in the heart, it was like, oh, you ain't got no protection. You ain't got no comforter no more.
Times is hard, they gone. They ain't gonna help you. You can't find them.
Facts.
Yeah. Behold, O Most High, for I am in distress. My bowels are troubled. My heart is turned within me, for I have grievously rebelled. Abroad the sword bereaveth. At home there is a death.
So no matter where you go, it's just death. Either the sword or it's just death around you.
They have heard that I sigh. There is none to comfort me. All my enemies have heard of my trouble. They are glad that thou hast done it. Thou wilt bring the day that thou hast called, and they shall be like unto me.
Now look at the mind of the prophet. All of these nations and people are laughing and they're happy that you brought this day unto me. But you have called for that day to happen to them also. Does this seem like a person that was not thinking about his nation of people? No. The way they prayed, the way they were. It's a different mentality. Keep going.
Let all their wickedness come before thee, and do unto them as thou hast done unto me for all my transgressions. For my sighs are many, and my heart is faint.
So he's saying, do unto them as you did unto me.
I need you to run that. Yeah, run that back.
So this is a prayer to the Most High. Do unto them like you've done unto us, to my people.
Yep.
This is the type of mentality you need to start having. If you want to be sown in Babylon, if you want to be able to leave this place, you got to really start separating your mind from this place because it's coming down. That's why the UN done moved to Kenya, to Africa. They are literally done with America.
Most High make them our slaves, you know, and we do what we want with them.
Well, no, we can't. No, we can't do what we want. No.
Well, you know what I mean, to like as far as hanging them.
No. We deal righteously with everybody.
We went over scripture on what we're supposed to do, how we're supposed to treat.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. No.
When it's time for that affliction to be turned,
Hey.
on the other cheek.
Yeah. It's time for them to drink of that cup and to eat of that bread, without the herbs to match. Second Lamentations. I told you we got some reading to do, so keep going.
How hath the Most High covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger, and cast down from heaven unto the earth the beauty of Israel, and remembered not his footstool in the days of his anger. The Most High hath swallowed up all the habitations of Jacob, and hath not pitied. He hath thrown down in his wrath the strongholds of the daughter of Judah. He hath brought them down to the ground. He hath polluted the kingdom and the princes thereof.
So, what kingdom is he talking about?
Israelites, Hebrew.
Specifically, the kingdom of Judah. We are the ones that have been thrown down. Most of the northern kingdom is still over in Africa. We have been thrown down. We are the ones that went to captivity everywhere, right? So it was mainly us. That's what Jeremiah, he's crying out for, the southern kingdom predominantly, right? Keep going.
He hath cut off in his fierce anger all the horn of Israel.
What does the horn represent?
Strength.
Yeah. Power, kingdom, nation, right.
He hath drawn back his right hand from before the enemy, and he burned against Jacob like a flaming fire, which devoured round about. He hath bent his bow like an enemy. He stood with his right hand as an adversary, and slew all that were pleasant to the eye in the tabernacle of the daughter of Zion.
How scary is that? He stood, the word for adversary is Satan. He stood as a Satan to us? That is not where you want to be. At all.
He poured out his fury like fire.
Fire. That's why I said like a Satan, right? So again, this is about turning the other cheek. We're going to get there. We're almost there.
Is that the same stuff I read? Okay. The Most High was an enemy. He hath swallowed up Israel. He hath swallowed up all her palaces. He hath destroyed his strongholds, and hath increased in the daughter of Judah mourning and lamentation.
So that's what the bread of affliction, he's increased because of our wickedness, right? Because of our doings. It's our fault. Keep going.
And he hath violently taken away his tabernacle, as if it were of a garden. He hath destroyed his places of the assembly. The Most High hath caused the solemn feasts and Sabbaths to be forgotten in Zion. That's crazy. And hath despised in the indignation of his anger the king and the priest.
Now you see that. He said that he caused what? The Sabbath and the feast to be forgotten. Does that not sound like 2024?
I mean, he mad, bro.
Yeah, that's many mad. Like, you're going to forget who you are. You're going to forget your feast days. You're going to forget your heritage, your customs, your culture, everything. In the fierceness of his anger because of our wickedness, because we're eating the bread of affliction, but we were not eating the herbs, right? For the healing, right? Okay, keep going.
The Most High hath cast off his altar. He hath abhorred his sanctuary. He hath given up into the hand of the enemy the walls of her palaces. They have made a noise in the house of the Most High, as in the day of the solemn feast. The Most High hath proposed to destroy the wall of the daughter of Zion. He hath stretched out a line. He hath not withdrawn his hand from destroying. Therefore he made the rampart and the wall to lament. They languish together.
Like everything's in pain. Everything's in turmoil. Nothing good.
Going right.
Nothing. This is literally called lamentations. If you're lamenting, you're crying out, you're sorrowful, you're just hurting everywhere. There's nothing good happening. Right. Depressed. Perfect.
Her gates are sunk into the ground. He hath destroyed and broken her bars. Her king and her princes are among the Gentiles. The law is no more. Her prophets also find no vision from the Most High.
Because our kings and our princes are among the Gentiles now, and no, the law is done away with right now.
No more.
Lamentations, literally.
The elders of the daughter of Zion sit up on the ground and keep silence. They have cast up dust upon their heads. What? They have girded themselves with sackcloth. The virgins of Jerusalem hang down their heads to the ground.
So whenever they that's what they do. They used to grab dust and just put it over there like, man, we're nothing. Like, it was just like, you're really going through it, yeah. And then you be clothe yourself with sackcloth and you just be mourning, crying, lamenting.
Wearing black.
Yeah, literally. Mm-hmm.
They say to their mothers, where is corn and wine? When they swooned as the wounded in the streets of the city, when their soul was poured out into their mother's bosom.
So they were asking, like, where's the food? Where's the prosperity? Where's the security at?
Life's gotta change, man.
Yeah, some got to be better than this, man.
What things shall I take to the witness for thee? What things shall I liken to thee, O daughter of Jerusalem? What shall I equal to thee, that I may comfort thee, O virgin daughter of Zion? For thy breach is great like the sea. Who can heal thee?
So who's the only person being that can heal our nation, that can truly bring us together as one?
The Most High.
The Most High. That's why Mashiach had to send a comforter. But even in him sending that comforter throughout time, the real truth behind these things got perverted because we weren't the ones controlling the message or teaching it from a Hebraic mindset, right? Keep going.
Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and they have not discovered thy iniquity, to turn away thy captivity, but have seen for thee false burdens and causes of banishment.
So wait a minute. He said, your prophets have seen vain and foolish things for you, and they have not discovered your iniquity, so they ain't even looking for it. To turn away your captivity, because there's some of our people who want to stay here, who don't want things to change.
I love America.
Black Karens, if you will. Right? Literally.
America's been good to us.
This place is finished.
Yeah.
Keep going.
All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, in this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth.
So whenever like you see some quote unquote black people do something bad, or this is that, they always like, come on y'all, what y'all be saying? Y'all always saying y'all was kings. Y'all was kings this and kings that. I'll be looking at comments and videos and seeing the racists come out of people, and I'll be like, oh man, that's for real?
What makes you a king?
We literally was though. We literally do derive from kings. King David. Keep going.
All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee.
Always got something to say.
Yeah. They hiss and gnash their teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we look for. We have found. We have seen it.
Yeah, because and then they mistakenly think that it's from their own power, right?
The Most High have done that which he had devised. He hath fulfilled his word that he had commanded in the days of old. He hath thrown down and hath not pity. And he hath caused thy enemy to rejoice over thee.
Wow.
He hath set up the horn of thy adversaries. So they make it stronger.
Right, he did it. It's not because they had the might, the strength, the intelligence to do it. It was the Most High's will because we broke the covenant, right?
Their heart cried unto the Most High, O wall of the daughter of Zion, let tears run down like a river day and night. Give thyself no rest. Let not the apple of thine eye cease. Arise, cry out in the night. In the beginning of the watches pour out thine heart like water before the face of the Most High. Lift up thine hands toward him for the life of thy young children that faint for hunger in the top of every street.
So what is he trying to get us to do?
Beg.
Plead. Cry out to the Most High, right? That's what this bitter herbs really is.
Behold, O Most High, and consider to whom thou hast done this. shall the women eat their fruit, and children of a span long? Shall the priest and the prophet be slain in the sanctuary of the Most High? The young and the old lie on the ground in the streets. My virgins and my young men are fallen by the sword. Thou hast slain them in the day of thine anger. Thou hast killed and not pitied. Thou hast called as in a solemn day my terrors round about, so that in the day of the Lord's anger none escape nor remain. Those that I have swaddled and brought up have my enemy consumed.
So, everything that the Most High said he was going to do, he did. He's a man of his word. We forced his hand. We forced him to be a man of his word. So now we're going to get into, like I said, this is what bitter herbs really is, about turning the other cheek. So Mashiach says that, and people don't know, there's two different instances where you actually see that. One is in Lamentations 3, and the other one I think was in Isaiah 50. Yeah, I believe it was in Isaiah 50. But we're going to keep going. Lamentations 3.
I am the man that hath seen affliction by the rod of his wrath.
So wait, so you're eating the bread of affliction by the
Rod.
tribe, that's the word Shebet,
Yeah.
of his wrath, right? Because that's what he sends tribes of people to mete out his wrath upon his enemies, right? And we have become his adversary, his enemy.
Yeah.
Right, keep going.
He hath led me and brought me to darkness, but not into light. Surely against me is he turned. He turned up his head against me all the day. My flesh and my skin have made me old. He hath broken my bones.
So he's just destroying everything that you are, even to your bones.
He hath builded against me, and compassed me with gall and travail. He hath set me in dark places, as they that be dead of old. He hath hedged me about, that I cannot get out. He hath made my chain heavy. Also, when I cry and shout, he shutted out my prayer. So he ain't listening at all.
So we had got so wicked that there was no herbs that we could eat for Passover.
Yeah.
There was nothing, because he wasn't going to listen to us because we forsook the law. Like literally, we forsook the law. We were worshiping other gods, goddesses, doing everything against what he wanted us to do, commanded us to do. So he won't listen to us when we're in that fallen state.
He hath enclosed my ways with hewn stone. He hath made my paths crooked. He was unto me as a bear lying in wait, and as a lion in secret places.
So he was waiting to
Yeah,
tell
he
you.
ready to kill something.
Man,
He hath turned aside my ways, and pulled me in pieces. He hath made me desolate. He hath bent his bow, and set me as a mark for the arrow, so you can get knocked off. He hath caused the arrows of his quiver to enter into my reins. I was a derision to all my people, and their song all the
so
day.
it was like I was just something for them to laugh at and joke about and make songs making fun of me
Is
about.
that derision or derision?
Derision.
Derision. Okay. He hath filled me with bitterness. He hath made me drunken with wormwood. He hath also broken my teeth with gravel stone. He hath covered me with ashes.
So he even broke our teeth. He broke everything,
Yeah.
right?
Nothing was spared.
Everything. And so like, that word bitterness, right? Of course, is maror, right? It's the same word used in Exodus 12, Numbers 9, verse 11. Bitter thing, bitter herb, bitterness, right? Bitter. And we're going to keep going. I was like, okay, so this is the same word. Again, it's only used 3 times, and this is one of the 3 times.
And
This is
thou
what bitter herbs is.
hast removed my soul far off from peace. I forgat prosperity. And I said, my strength and my hope is perished from the Most High. Remembering mine affliction and my misery, the wormwood and the gall. My soul hath them still in remembrance, and is humbled in me.
So remembering the affliction, the bread of affliction, misery, the wormwood and the gall. Now, what is wormwood?
I have no clue what wormwood is. I know I've heard it before.
Okay, somebody Google wormwood tea.
Wormwood tea.
Worm what?
Wormwood tea. I actually have some at my house. So there's wormwood that's a constellation, and this is that, but there's also a tea of wormwood, right?
So it's not wood like we would think it is. It's not wood.
No.
Helps ease inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
Improve digestion.
What
treat
about
skin disease.
what about parasites?
And kill parasites like tapeworms.
So wormwood is one of the strongest herbs that you can actually intake in your body, right? And it literally purges your body of parasites,
I'm about to get some.
right? 'Cause I have it at the house, but like it's so powerful. You can't take it more than 14 days straight until you have to give your body a break. It's that powerful. It really cleanses and detoxes. So this is another one of those bitter herbs, right? Because it was through the bread of affliction and misery that you were reminded of the wormwood, the thing that heals you. So what does it say was the thing that healed them? It doesn't say heal you on there. Read the next line. My soul hath them still in remembrance and is humbled in me. Humility is the bitter herbs that we had to consume when we were eating the what? Bread of affliction, right? Keep going.
This I recall to my mind. Therefore have I hope. It is of the Most High's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not.
Right.
They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. The Most High is my portion, saith my soul. Therefore will I hope in him.
Because again, I'm going to go back to this slide. Remembering mine affliction and my misery, the wormwood and the gall, my soul have still in remembrance. So your soul has not forgotten any of that and is humble. So once you get to that humble state, you realize that you only got one way out, and that's the Most High. Literally. So then he goes into this I recall to my mind. That makes you remember the Most High, his covenant, his goodness, his grace. It is of Yahuwah's mercy that we are not consumed. It's all because of the Most High that they didn't kill us all. Because of his compassions don't fail. They are new every morning. Great is his mercy. Yahuwah is my portion. You got to start claiming that he's our portion. Saith our souls, therefore will we hope in him. That is the bitter herbs that's going to heal the nation, right? Keep going.
The Most High is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Most High.
Right. Instead of boasting in it, cry out to the Most High, get right with the Most High, and wait patiently. Because that's what we're doing now. We are sounding the alarm to our people and to all those that cleave to the covenant of the Most High. But we are patiently waiting, because this is the patience of the saints. This is literally what it is. After that bread of affliction, the bitter herbs of humility, humbling yourself to the Most High, and to your brothers, and to your sisters, to your tribe. Right? Keep going.
It is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth. He sitteth alone and keepeth silence, because he hath borne it upon him.
Keep going.
He putteth his mouth in the dust. If so, may there be hope.
Now remember I told you this is all about turning the other cheek.
He giveth his cheek to him that smiteth him. He is filled full with reproach.
So this is what Mashiach did, because if you remember some of the things that they did, they beat him, they ripped his clothes off, they parted his clothes, they was literally ripping his beard off, and then they was smiting him. That's what he was doing. Everything about what he did is what we were supposed to do. Emulate what he did, right? Turning the other cheek. So what was he wearing? He was wearing the spirit of humility. Because he was waiting patiently for what? The Most High to revive him, to restore him. Just like our whole nation is waiting for it now, right? So we have to follow his image, right? And understand, like, there was another reason why he didn't tell them to flat out go to war with Rome at that time, right? But he did tell them to grab a sword, because you do have to protect yourself. But we'll get to that. Keep going.
For the Most High will not cast off forever. But thou he caused grief, yet will he have compassion according to the multitude of his mercy.
So when you get into that place of remembering, of repenting, of crying out to the Most High, you remember that the Most High, his wrath is not going to last forever, especially not to his covenanted people. Because of the multitudes of his mercy, he will not forget us, because we are still a part of this blood covenant, right? Because we literally ate of the bread, drunk of the cup, and the bitter herbs. He can't forget that, right? Well, we're already in Ecclesiastes. Oh, okay, so now we're going to Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. There's a reason why, again, he didn't allow them to go to war with them at that time. Keep going.
To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
So for them, it was not that time to go to war with Rome. Even at 70 AD, they tried. I mean, Shiach told them, y'all need to leave. Y'all not going to win because, for one, y'all aren't together. Y'all don't know how to humble yourselves to the Most High, let alone to one another. So y'all, a house divided cannot, it can't stand. It was not the time, but they couldn't discern that. Right? Keep going.
A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance.
I heard this song. He was crying, dude.
He's faking. Give him the message.
We get some mashed potatoes. That's what he rolled that.
Okay. A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get, and a time to lose. A time to keep, and a time to cast away. A time to rend, and a time to sow. A time to keep silence, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate. A time of war, and a time of peace.
So the disciples and even the chief priests and Pharisees, everybody thought that the Mashiach was coming because it was a time for war. They thought the Mashiach was coming back as King David or in that nature. Yeah. It was not that time, right? He came as the suffering servant. But what time are we coming into now? We're coming into the time of war. Yeah. So you need to start getting your mind prepared for that, because war is coming. It's going to be a great world war. It's going to be infighting inside the states. But we have to be able to discern the times, right? For everything, there's a time and a season. Back to Lamentations 3.
For he doeth not afflict willingly, nor grieve the children of men, to crush under his feet all the prisoners of the earth, to turn aside the right of a man before the face of the Most High, to subvert a man in his cause, the Most High approveth not.
So the Most High don't even really want to afflict anybody. He just wants us all to be obedient. Yeah. But man wants to be rebellious. Man wants to try to shoot rockets at the solar eclipse. Wants to start up CERN trying to break the veil.
Wants to look at dark matter.
Dark matter. Yeah. Try to mess with black holes. Yeah. To try to create an alternate reality where they actually kill the Most High and the Most High's seed in the earth. That's what man tries to do.
Who is he that saith, and it come to pass, when the Most High commanded it not? Out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil and good.
He sends evil or good. Balance. He's an Elohim of balance. Always remember that.
Wherefore doeth a living man complain, a man for the punishment of his sins.
So why is men complaining? Because they're receiving the punishments of their sins. Every action is a reaction. Yeah. We be forcing the Most High to do stuff. We made the Most High be a man of his word. Because when we walked into these blessings, we thought, oh man, they can't touch us. They can't do nothing to us. Like that's it. The Most High, he ain't going to do nothing. We got a covenant with him. We are his children. A father wouldn't do that. A father can be very strict. Yes. Very strict. And we know we have a nation of people that can be very wicked. Yeah. Very wicked. Because remember, those 3 days of darkness, all of our people didn't make it out because they didn't want to what? Humble themselves and submit. They didn't want to eat the bitter herbs for healing. They wanted to stay in Babylon. They wanted to stay in Egypt.
That's home.
That was home to them. They said, we don't want to go out there and die in the wilderness. So the Most High was like, okay, why don't you just die? Like, you so worried about death, and just die. You will not be a part of my tribe or nation then.
Oh man.
Let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Most High. Let us lift up our heart with our hands unto God in the heavens.
Submission, humbling yourself.
Yeah. We have transgressed and have rebelled. Thou hast not pardoned.
Repent before the kingdom of heaven is nigh.
Yeah. Thou hast covered with anger and persecuted us. Thou hast slain, thou hast not pitied. Thou hast covered thyself with a cloud, that our prayer should not pass
So
through.
he's just gonna block the prayers with literally just
Yeah,
like,
it's not
hey,
even
cloud,
going
get that
up.
out
It's
of
not
here.
even going past the
Get that
ceiling.
out of here. They still want the bread of affliction. No better herbs for you. None.
And prayer ain't going past the ceiling.
Not past the dome.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
firmament.
For real. Thou hast made us as the offscouring and refused in the midst of the people. All our enemies have opened their mouths against us. Fear and a snare is come upon us, desolation and destruction. Mine eye runneth down with rivers of water for the destruction of the daughter of my people.
You see the mentality of the prophets, how they cared about their people?
Yeah.
They would care about all people, don't get it twisted. But they would really be focused on their people first.
Yeah.
Right? Mentality.
Mine eye tricketh down and ceaseth not without any intermission, till the Most High look down and behold from heaven. Mine eye affecteth my heart because of all the daughters of my city. My enemies chase me sore like a bird without cause.
You see how no matter what was going on in any other nation around the world, they was only worried about their nation,
Oh yeah.
their particular people that are part of the covenant.
They have cut off my life in the dungeon.
Prison,
What?
prison.
And cast a stone upon me. Waters flowed over my head. Then I said, I am cut off. I called upon thy name, O Most High, out of the low dungeon. Thou hast heard my voice. Hide not thine ear at my breathing, at my cry.
Right. Jeremiah's giving the Most High everything.
Yeah, I
And he's actually still in the covenant.
Yeah.
He wasn't one of those people that broke the covenant, but he's crying out for the nation because as a nation we broke it. Right? Starting with the leadership. The leadership got to be right first.
Thou drewest near in the day that I called upon thee. Thou saidst, fear not. O Most High, thou hast pleaded the causes of my soul. Thou hast redeemed my life.
Now this is actually talking about the nation. This is a future prophecy about a restoration because remember, he had to send that comforter because that's what he's lamenting about. There is no comforter at this time, right?
O Most High, thou hast seen my wrong. Judge thou my cause. Thou hast seen all their vengeance and all their imaginations against me.
So when you start praying, especially about the future of your nation, you need to start adding these things in there. Because he knows the wicked imaginations. They're talking about they want to do what? Digital ID to our babies.
Oh yeah. That's right.
They're talking about they want to do what? Put that, it literally talks about genetically modified stuff into the baby's body. So they'll no longer have a physical digital ID. Did you miss that part? That's what we started with. You definitely watch it. Yeah, that's what they plan to do. They're going to start that over in Kenya where they just moved the new headquarters of the UN.
Yeah.
They're in the testing phase of it right now. The Kenyan president was talking about it. So in the beginning, like when y'all rewatch it, you'll see. I think I played like 5 minutes of the video.
Yeah. The Kenyan government or like whenever you have a pregnant baby,
You could literally
they're
go
putting a
ahead
chip in
and,
the
you
baby.
know, change the color of your baby's hair,
Yeah.
your eyes.
Well, through CRISPR, they can change DNA. It started with CRISPR, and then CRISPR's evolved to something else. I forget what's.
Basically trying to genetically modify these babies instead of just the food.
Yeah.
Because, like, food isn't bad enough.
And another reason why they want to genetically modify, so the Most High won't be able to tell who are his and who's not.
Yeah.
Any way that they can pollute the Most High's creation, they are trying to do. So when you're calling out to the Most High, call out their wicked, imaginations, devices. I'm telling you, because if it's not for the Most High having angels encamped round about us, protecting us and keeping us in all of our ways, they would confuse the Most High with the things that they're planning. That don't even make no sense. You want to put an ID chip, a virtual ID chip, in a baby.
Yeah.
They will, like, by 2035, this thing will more likely be fully implemented. I keep saying this is not the time to be playing around.
But look where they're doing it at, though.
Oh, yeah.
And they're starting-
People, they always start with us first.
But they're starting over where the places of safety are mainly going to be in Africa.
Right.
Another deterrent for us wanting to even go back over there. You see what I'm saying? So, like, they're trying to cover their bases. They want us to live in fear. We can't live in fear, but we have to be moving like a tribe, man. That's why I keep trying to say we have to be thinking like a tribe mentality. It's got to be that.
There's an Asian geneticist that came up missing in 2018
Yep.
or 2019 who figured out how to slice into the embryos because these embryos both had HIV. He cured the embryos and the mother was able to give birth to babies that were no longer
HIV free. Yep.
And he came up missing after he did.
Of course.
Because that'll be a whole bunch of money they will allow.
Yeah, of course, it's a business. I mean, it's big business, and at the same time, death is a bigger business.
Yeah, it is.
They want people to die.
Insurance money.
Insurance.
Insurance.
Who's reading? Go ahead.
Thou hast heard their reproach, O Most High, and all their imaginations against me. The lips of those that rose up against me, and their device against me all the day. Behold, they're sitting down and they're rising up. I am their music.
You are literally their music. You are literally their entertainers. Their wicked devices. All that they're doing, you need to be calling out to the Most High to make sure that our households are protected, to make sure that we are separating ourselves from Babylon, from America, from Rome, from this strange woman. Got to, man.
Render unto them a recompense, O Most High, according to the work of their hands. Give them sorrow of heart that curse unto them. Persecute and destroy them in anger from under the heavens of the Most High.
Now, this is a man of God, like they would say in church. Look what he's praying. I want you to read that again. Read this whole thing again. Read that again.
Render unto them a recompense, O Most High, according to the work of their hands. Give them sorrow of heart that curse unto them. Persecute and destroy them in anger from under the heavens of the Most High.
Now, when you think about how y'all were raised in the quote-unquote church, does that sound like a prayer that they would tell you to try to pray?
No.
You got to take that mind off and start putting the mind back on of the quote-unquote disciples or apostles and the prophets. Because this is the way you pray when it's literal spiritual warfare. Because they weren't just praying about their day-to-day. Don't get me wrong, they would be praying about their day-to-day. But they would spiritually warfare about nation. It would be like a national thing. So they're like, no. What happened to us as a nation, make sure everyone that had their hand in it, make sure they get it. Matter of fact, give them double. Literally. This is the mind or the mentality that you have to start morphing yourself into. And you know what? It's okay, because if the Most High had a problem with it, he would say something else about it. But he didn't. You can see, if you see David's prayers.
I was going to say, it sound like David.
Look, David has some prayers that, man, Christian pastors won't even touch. You'll never even hear these prayers from David. But, you know, they'll praise David, this, and that. But when you start looking at the prayers that the prophets were actually praying, it's different from what you have been introduced to. It's deeper than rap. Go ahead, bro.
Block that name out. Them and they see. What was it?
Oh, that was it? Yeah. And don't forget Moses, like, when they were trying to repent and this and that, Moses was like, no, don't hear their prayer. And don't forgive their sin. Don't forgive their iniquity. Like,
recompense like payback, right?
Huh?
Recompense is like a payback.
Yeah, give them exactly what they gave us.
And those are also like, it's not even in that. It's not a just brother like, hey.
But the way we're raised, it's turn the other cheek.
Yep.
But when you get to the full context, that's why you have to go to Lamentations and be like, wait, this is actually about Judah. This is about what happened to the Yahudim in captivity, who needed a comforter, who needed the bitter herbs. Right? So we will turn the other cheek because we know that the Most High is going to fight our battles. Because vengeance is not mine. It's Yahuwah's. That's the whole mindset behind it. So when Mashiach was telling you that, just know who got you. You go ahead and turn your other cheek. I'm going to do the same thing. Because you know what? I'm going to raise again. And guess what? You as a nation of people, y'all are going to raise again also. But you have to have the faith and the discernment to be able to see that. It's just more than just turning the other cheek. Because people think in a moment, man, I'm going to look weak if I do that. This is not. No, you're actually showing the Most High your strength, because you're showing the Most High that you believe that He is going to fight that thing for you. It's a strength thing. The reason why Mashiach said that, because outside of Isaiah 50 and Lamentations 3, you don't see in Matthew 5, you don't see turn the other cheek. So there had to be a context behind it, but we don't know that because we don't read, we don't seek, we don't diligently seek this thing out. So now we're going to finish up. I think this is it. Matthew, going back to Matthew 5, 16 verses. Whoever's going to read, go ahead.
And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain, and when he was set, his disciples came unto him. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted.
So he sent the comforter. He said, Blessed are the poor in spirit. Are you not poor in spirit? Do you not have to literally pray and work for everything that you have? Are you not supposed to be coming from a humble and contrite position? Because exactly, you do have to speak things into existence, but this is what they call the Beatitudes, right? He's letting you know what you have to do to enter into the kingdom of heaven, and if being our nation, you get to rule the kingdom of heaven. So you have to be poor in spirit, and you have to be in a mourning state, because you've been eating that bread of affliction, for they shall be comforted, right? These are all patterns, right? Keep going.
Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth.
So what does it mean to be meek? Humble. That's what bitter herbs is supposed to get you to be. Because, okay, somebody go to 2 Chronicles 7. Please. Please, somebody go to 2 Chronicles 7. Whoever got it. And give whoever's going to read it the mic, please. 7. Start at verse probably 10. I think June got it. June got it. I think so. I don't have my phone on me. I don't know what happened to it.
And on the 320th day of the 7th month, he sent the people away to their tents, glad and merry in heart for the goodness that Yahuwah had showed unto David and to Solomon and to Israel his people. Thus Solomon finished the house of Yahuwah and the king's house, and all that came into Solomon's heart to make in the house of Yahuwah.
So, in case y'all don't realize, in a spiritual sense, y'all are descendants of King Solomon. So y'all are Solomon. And in the future, you are going to finish this house. But you have to be able to eat the bread of affliction with the bitter herbs. But what are the bitter herbs? Keep going.
And in his house, he prosperously effected. And Yahuwah appeared to Solomon by night and said unto him, I have heard thy prayer and have chosen this place to myself for an house of sacrifice.
Right. And we give the sacrifices of praise. Keep going. You're going to go at least to 14.
If I shut up heaven, and there be no rain, or if I command the locusts to devour the land, or if I send pestilence among my people. This is 14. If my people...
Slow down. Say this one slow. We all know this one, but this one is.
If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sins.
And will do what?
And will heal their land.
And you said that herbs were for what?
Healing.
That's what the bitter herbs really represents. And so everything in this, Mashiach is just letting you know, you have to be this, you have to be, I'm just going to keep going. So you said, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. So what does that mean? To hunger and thirst after righteousness.
To crave it. Yeah.
To crave it, but you don't just crave it, you seek it out. Right? And then once you seek it, once you've learned it, you actually apply it. right? So, okay, so be filled with righteousness, and they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. So the people that held us captive, were they merciful?
No.
So what you're saying is, that's one of the things that's going to keep them, a lot of them, from inheriting this great kingdom that's coming, right? So that's why you have to turn the other cheek, because the Most High is going to fight your battle, so you can obtain mercy. Because remember, Mashiach said that all these things he came to do to fulfill what? The suffering, so he can attain glory. So you turn the other cheek the same way, so you can attain that same type of glory. Because if it's about Mashiach, it's also about you, tribe of Judah, literally. And then he says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see the Most High. And for some of us, that's what we're working on getting to. Truly being pure in heart. Not having wicked imaginations, not wishing evil on people. Because we do not want that black mark of having hate in our heart to keep us from making the kingdom. Making us want to die in the 3 days of darkness before you even get to the wilderness to go under the rod, right? So these are the things you have to be working on. That's what Mashiach said is going to get you into this kingdom that we build. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of the Most High. Especially when you're in an assembly, when you're a part of a tribe, you should be operating in peace. That's the only way a tribe can really work. Being on one accord, but operating through peace. Then he says, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So when people come against you saying that you're in a cult because you're trying to make the right strides towards the Most High, just know they're doing this and they don't know the scriptures, because you're trying to get right with the Most High. That ain't got nothing to do with you. So don't take offense to it. Offenses must come. But whoever knows and loves the law will not get offended. So you should not be getting offended. You should not be taking it personal when they come against you for righteousness' sake. It's because they're not coming against you. They're coming against Mashiach. When you're making these strides, that's what they're really doing, and they have no idea. Blessed are you when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake, like you're a part of a cult, even though they know the contents of your character. They know the contents of your heart. They know how you treat people. But because things get a negative connotation, and because a lot of times they are ignorant because they haven't learned or researched things, they spit crazy things at you or about you. Don't worry about it, because yours is the kingdom of the Most High. That's what you have to believe. Right? Because he sends a comforter to those that can eat the bitter herbs, to those that can submit to the Most High in humility, to those who can be humble. Right? And then it says, rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Just like Yirmiyahu was getting persecuted by his own people. By his own people. It don't be the people that ain't skin folk half the time. Most of the time it is skin folk that be persecuting us, talking to you crazy. And you just trying to plant a seed, give them some light. Literally.
The Messiah killed him.
Huh? You see what they did to Mashiach? I mean, and then it says, so I got a question. Hold on. Who's the salt of the earth?
Israel. Salt of the earth.
You are the salt of the earth. Everybody here. But if the salt loses its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thence good for nothing but to be cast out and to be trodden down under foot of men. So that's what happened. We lost our salt. We lost the bitter herbs because we wouldn't be obedient. Because that's what actually separated us from everybody else. The law, which is our wisdom, which is what every nation was like, man, how are they so righteous? And how do they have a creator that just saves them out of everything? We lost that consciousness, right? We lost that faith in the Most High. And that's something that you have to daily work on, right? Because you're supposed to be what? Renewing your mind. And then it says, you are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Now, it should be evident that we're the light of the world, because any type of trend, anything we do, next thing you know, everybody's like, man, that's cool. I mean, I would just like roll my leg up, pants leg up a certain way, maybe wear mismatched shoes. Maybe I'm not even thinking I'm looking good. That's like, man, that's not. You mind if I start doing that? Just be little weird stuff. And you're like, man, everybody start picking up on it. You are the salt and you are the light of the world. You have to walk in that confidence also. And you have to realize when you're righteous before the Most High, men and women will just start giving it into your bosom. You just start getting blessings from everywhere. People want to follow you because you're walking in righteousness, because you're walking with a pure heart, because you've eaten that bitter herb and that comforter has been sent to you, right? And then it says, neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and then give a light unto all that are in the house. So you got to let your light shine. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So contrary to popular belief, your works matter. It's a reflection of your Father who is in heaven.
Fruits of your tree.
The fruits, right. And that is the bitter herbs. Did that make sense? I hope that did.
Yep.
We good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did you do the fair use thing?
Yeah, I did fair use. Yeah, they cover me. They cover me. They be having my back. They be having my back. Who got the mic? I got it. Oh no, press out. No, I'm tweaking. Go ahead.
Abba, thank you for allowing us to gather today on another feast day, Abba, and getting some more of this truth in our souls and in our minds and in our hearts, Abba. Help us stay on the path and continue to show us the way, Abba. And as we part ways, Abba, watch over us and keep us safe. Let us get to our destinations safely, Abba, and just thank you. And we pray and ask for forgiveness for our ancestors,
yes,
Abba,
Yes.
because for them we are in the predicament that we are in. And I pray that all of us are able to wake up and see the truth, our truth, your truth that you bestowed upon us, so we can better serve you, Abba. Shalom.
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 So, I am Yehuda. This is y'all's assembly. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, like and share our content. And as always, until next time, peace, family.
Whoa!